What up, Block fam? Welcome to the episode where getting a little crafty with it today. As you guys know, for this bike, which is named Lucy, our build off against Cruise Originals, I did a lot of the powder coating myself. So basically the powder coating on the engine, the powder coating on the latches here and there, did that piece, did the kickstand. One of the things doing that powder coating, which if you guys want to check out that episode, I'll be sure to drop a link in the description below. A number of you guys commented and said that I needed to prep the surface, especially if it was chrome. Obviously doing more research with powder coating. I want to get better at it. I've made some investments into some more tools. Previously, I have the powder coating system, which is the central pneumatic gun. I got powder from Prismatic Powders, which is sitting over here. I actually purchased some wheels that really super rough condition for my BMW E36 over on the John Block channel. If you guys aren't aware of that channel, in addition to motorcycles, I do enjoy cars as well. I'm actually working on rebuilding a couple of them. What's mainly highlighted right now on that channel is the 1994 BMW E36, which I call the box. The wheels that I have on that car right now are pretty They're which fits, right? Because it's the box. I bought them off of eBay. They weren't too expensive. I've taken them to 3 different shops, changed the tires on them and stuff, and they are always in balance. Nobody can get them perfectly balanced. That means the wheel is actually out of round. So I recently picked up some much better wheels, which are right here. So for those of you that don't know, Moto in the car world is a pretty great brand. I ended up scooping up these wheels with these tires for incredibly cheap. The guy that owned them before me, he actually used them on a BMW that he built to rally, which is pretty badass. They are definitely rough, but he sold them to me for so freaking cheap. Seriously, like these wheels, 5 of them, after shipping, tax, and all that stuff, damn near $2,000. What I bought them for, 250 bucks. Insane deal. But that's one of those kind of like mechanic discounts where you can get them looking good, but it's gonna take some work. So I got the tires off of them, and then I got the wheels separated. I took out all the valve stems, so the valve stems are gone. I do have to remove the center caps on some of them, but at this point, I'm pretty much ready to start the preparation process for powder coating them. So I'm gonna powder coat those myself. I do have to still find a bigger oven. One of those steps in this powder coating process is I have to get those things absolutely clean, which is where title of the episode and all that, I'm sure. So we've got a 40-pound capacity floor blast cabinet, basically a sandblasting cabinet from Harbor Freight. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this thing up, get to assembling it, using it, and if you guys want to see final results on those wheels, head over to the John Block channel. I'll be sure to link that down in the description below, as well at John X Block. And I figured that it would be useful for you guys, like on this channel, on the Blockhead Moto channel, because a lot of people really enjoyed the powder coating video. So I thought I'd kind of share this for those of you that might be interested in learning how to like kind of get more into it and what tools you might need. I thought I'd show this assembly, unboxing it, putting it all together, and then using it.
Yo, what's up, Block fam? Let me put you on today's sponsor, Mando. Mando's got a wider range of aluminum-free products. Deodorants, wipes, sprays, body washes, and more. Everything you need to keep it fresh from head to toe. Pits, feet, and even down there. They've got 4 unique scents: Bourbon Leather, Clover Woods, Mount Fuji, and Pro Sport. And if you're low-key, they even have unscented. And my favorite part is everything is skin safe, vegan, cruelty-free, and 100% paraben-free. Plus, no baking soda, so you won't get those nasty stains all over your clothes. Mando was created by a doctor who saw how regular body odor was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. And now it's clinically proven to control odor better than showering with soap alone. 12 hours after a shower, the average man's grundle odor level was 5 out of 10. And with Mando, you're at a 0. If you're new to Mando, get the starter pack. It's got everything you need: a full stick of deodorant, a cream or a spray option, plus 2 free products like wipes or a body wash, all with free shipping. And for all the Block fam, you get an additional $5 off using our code Blockhead. Level up your scent game, click the link in the bio, place an order, and smell your best today. Peace.
Sandblasting cabinet from Harbor Freight, paid for it myself. There was a 15% off coupon that I got in my email, so I paid under $200 for it, which is pretty bad. I did buy some blast media which is a glass bead 80 grit, which is supposed to be great for removing, you know, paint, powder coat, all that stuff, and it leaves the metal in really good condition. So that's what we're going for. We're stripping it back down to just straight metal. In addition, I also bought ceramic nozzles, so they have different sizing. If you need it a little bit more fine, obviously you would go with a smaller nozzle. I also bought a caulking gun and some clear adhesive sealant, some silicone RTV. Apparently there's some seams on this thing that leak. I've watched a couple videos beforehand about people setting these things up. That's one of those tips. Do have a couple more other tips that I'm going to be dropping as well, but let's go ahead, get to unboxing this thing and getting it all put together. That is a lot of apparently takes a couple hours to assemble this. So I'm gonna get to reading the instructions, start assembling all this hardware. Okay, so the instructions are pretty straightforward. It goes over a lot of safety stuff in the first couple pages. Then it goes over setup. So you've got light clamps, gloves, dust port, and then the actual cabinet, light and switch, funnel, legs, and connecting the funnel hose and cabinet, lower shelf and window, air supply, some air supply diagrams if you want it to be portable or if you want it to be stationary. So there you go. If you guys can't hear that, we do have a compressor running in the background. It's a very large compressor, so that is one of the requirements for the floor blast cabinet. You need compressed air. And you need a decent amount, like capacity. It can't just be like one of those little small, you know, hamburger looking ones. Step one, light clamps, removing the gloves, dust port, follow the directions. Right, so this is the part that in the videos that I watched, they said to go ahead and use a sealant along these lines because it does end up leaking out a little bit. So you guys can see it's pretty level whenever you tighten it down, but this is, I mean, it's pretty thin sheet metal, pretty flimsy stuff. It does have those foam material in between, which you guys can see here, but not much. Also, just to note, this top piece was actually supposed to go underneath here and not on the top. You guys can see whenever I tighten down, it bent it up. The reason I put this on the top is because down the road, I'm actually going to modify this cabinet so that it opens from the top. That way you can fit larger items inside of it rather than just going through the side door. So I'm gonna find some hinges, that way it'll be top open, and then I'll reinforce this with like a bead of silicone or like some more of like the weather stripping foam stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead, put some of this clear adhesive sealant, silicone RTV. So I'm gonna do a bead of that basically all the way down all four corners of the thing. Alright guys, I have reached a stopping point because the hardware that I'm using here seemed to have ran out of it. I don't think I'm following the directions closely enough. I'm literally just like grabbing nuts and bolts that I think will work. This should be all good. Use the shim obviously under there. There's not 4 shims though, there's only 3, which is weird. I'm definitely not using washers. I might regret it, I don't know. I got 2 of these bolts left and I need more of those. Unless I start to use these ones, but I'm pretty confident those ones are going to be used in some of this stuff because since they're longer, it has to go through like multiple pieces of the sheet metal. So I would assume that would be what the longer bolts are for. Stopping point for now, you guys will obviously see it in just a second, but I'm gonna head home. It is 9 o'clock, so 9 p.m. I've been here all day. Made a lot of really awesome progress. I think I should have this thing up and operational. There was this piece, which is, I mean, you can't even see through that really. And that just kind of acted like a diffuser, but everybody on YouTube that I've looked up with these things says that the light is super dim. So I went ahead and removed it. It is like a 2 LED strips, so I would assume it should be pretty bright. But if not, there are lots of people that have done modifications where you can essentially just take that light out and fill it with LEDs of your choosing, like much as we've done here. These are all LED lights that, you know, we've put up just to give us some extra light. I guess with all that being said, I will see y'all in the morning. Just like that, we're back. Let's continue assembling. Okay, so there we go. We got it all set up. It's good to go. I actually saw it on other videos. Whenever you plug in the compressed air, if you don't tighten the hose clamps around the fittings on the inside, it makes like a explosion pop sound as the air compresses inside of it. Went ahead and tightened down those hose clamps and all good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and connect the vacuum. You don't have to have a vacuum, but they recommend it because what it does is you basically turn the vacuum on and it pulls air. It clears all of the mist and the dust and stuff, and it basically just collects it in the shop vac. I'm gonna be doing a thing in the future where hook it up to a 5-gallon bucket, so you can basically take that 5-gallon bucket and you can put that media back into the cabinet. We just got like a shop vac here. That does not fit. That'll just have to do, I guess. I think that will do. One thing I did forget to mention, I'm gonna be building like a stand for this thing so that it brings it up. Because at the time, right now, it's a little low for me. Like with my hands in it, I'm kind of like hunched over. So I'm gonna be building a stand which will bring it up. And I'm also gonna put some caster wheels on it, so we'll be able to move it around. Just to note real quick, this thing on the bottom, which is like the chute, right? The bottom of the hopper, you'd basically like turn this to empty it. I put a zip tie on that because it opens so easy. Like you barely bump it and that thing flops open. Yeah, lots of little things that I would definitely upgrade on this thing. But, you know, once again, it's a Harbor Freight cabinet, so it's not going to be the best, but that's what makes it affordable. If you want a super professional one, probably talking about dropping over $1,000. Glass bead 80 grit blast media. It's talking about breaking some kind of strip here, but that's solid plastic. It's not scored at all. Thing fought me. Glass media, you don't want to breathe the shit in, so wear a mask. Unlike me, I'm gonna hold my breath. Let's turn the vacuum on and see if we can fit one of these wheels in there. Barely fits. Vacuum on. So it's interesting because you can tell it has layers. So like I'll start right here, brand new. So it's a black layer and then a primer layer and then it goes back to the regular black layer. It's having some issues feeding. So that is definitely one of the issues that I read about. So with the feed tube that basically goes down into the media, it has trouble basically like getting it to feed sometimes. So what people do is they actually modify the door for the hopper here and they add a fitting that basically goes out and then into the cabinet. And so rather than it feeding from in there and going back in, it feeds into the tube and then suction helps it to come back around. So definitely going to be ordering that. First initial thoughts and feedback. I know I'm doing like a big item right off the bat, but definitely is going to require some modification. So But I heard you can order these things on eBay, super cheap. I'll be sure to post a link down in the description below if you guys are interested in any of this. So I will say the light without that little filter thing, it's okay. So much of this area of the cabinet is like kind of darker. So you guys can see. And then this film, it got just immediately dirty and smudgy. So there's a layer of film that you can peel away. They give you like some replacements, which is here. Pretty cool. And then there's the regular glass, and then there's the plexiglass. Didn't give up quite yet, made a couple changes. Actually relocated this, this bar was at like the very bottom of the hopper, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but we'll see. This is the wheel. Looks pretty good. So that ate through the first coat, then the primer. I don't know if this is bare metal. Kind of looks like it, but I don't know. Nothing coming out of it now. The guys, when shutting down the shop, because I'm here after hours, turned off the air compressor like they're supposed to. So I wasn't getting any air. I was like, there's really not a lot of pressure to this thing. So hopefully now it should work gooder. Oh my God. That is so much better. Definitely helps when you got proper airflow. Nowhere near done with this thing. Got a long ways to go. I need to tell you right now, where I have the pickup tube in here sucks, so I'm definitely gonna move it. Keeps the gun all the way to the right. I can't hardly use my left hand. And the trigger on this thing is tough. It'd be nice if there was a way to lock it in the on position. I have seen where people use a gun that has a foot switch, so you pretty much run the foot switch out here, step on it, and then the gun shoots the powder. But all of these are upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. You can see that there is some blast media coming out here. So we definitely have to seal that up. Maybe another strip of the foam. Also, there's some in here. It's crazy to me. Some on top over here. And I can definitely feel it on the floor. I mean, obviously it's gonna be on the floor. This is definitely a very large point of leakage. Less than 200 bucks, man. Like I was saying. There's the initial video on the Harbor Freight 40-pound capacity cabinet Sandblaster. I'm going to be using this to do all sorts of different parts. These are probably the bigger items that I'm going to be tackling, but it's definitely going to take a while. So I got these rims for an absolute steal. I'm going to definitely pay for it in time. Mechanic special, like I said. But there's the first thoughts and impressions on the Central Pneumatic 40-pound capacity floor blast cabinet. If you guys are interested in this, check out the link down in the description below. This isn't sponsored or any affiliate link or anything like that with Harbor Freight. I get a lot of tools from there. So this is one of those things. Definitely going to continue to upgrade it. The like little feed hopper thing works a lot better whenever you've got proper air pressure. So I think we're good there. If you guys are interested in doing powder coating, painting, stripping parts, you're doing restoration on bikes, cars, whatever it may be, sandblasting, especially with the cabinet, so nice. Although a little bit of a mess. Not near as bad of a mess as one that you're using like outside externally with like a, you know, barrel. If you guys do have any questions on this, let me know. Post down in the comments below, and I'll answer to the best of my knowledge based on my experience here. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. If this was insightful, hit the like button. Lets YouTube know that we're doing a good job. If you want to see future content on projects that I'm going to be working on, such as the BMW E36, that's over on the John Block channel, so at JohnXBlock, or parts for Lucy, which is my 2024 Harley-Davidson Road Glide. I'm going to be taking some parts off of here, sandblasting them, and then we'll be powder coating them as well. If you want to see all that stuff, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon also so it sends you notifications of future uploads and activity. Till next time, ride safe, stay vigilant. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.